Hey everyone, welcome to the Cripescast. I'm your host, Charlie Berens. This is the podcast where we talk to people for and or from the Midwest, and we are brought to you by Jolly Good Soda. Folks, welcome to the long-awaited, heavily anticipated by no one, the Berens Brothers Cripescast. Comes with sound effects that I just made up. Andy Berens, Charlie Berens, Billy Berens, and John Berens. One day only. Kelly Maraca, EP of the Cripescast. How we doing? You excited for this one?
Good. This was a very fun episode to be a part of and watch. And I think it was a really fun episode to record. And I'm just glad that it's been, a lot of people have commented about it, excited for it to come out. So I'm excited for people to finally hear it.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Took a moment to edit. We had a couple other hangups, technologically speaking, but it's all done and it's all here.
Yep.
And here we are. Before we get to the episode, I just want to say that we've got some shows coming up. We got Pennsylvania, Las Vegas, Wichita, Kansas City, Springfield, Evansville, Rochester, Manitowoc, Burnsville. Got them all, cripescast.com/tour. What else? I don't think there is much else. This is a long episode, folks. So we're going to kind of just skip the intro for the most part and just let you hang out with the Brothers Berens. Hope you enjoy. Hey folks, how we doing? I am here for an episode of the Cripescast with my brothers. Joining me in my living room tonight is Andy Berens, oldest brother of the Berens family.
Hello.
How you doing, Andy?
Good. You?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Okay. Andy is a teacher at Divine Savior Holy Angels High School.
I was just going to say a teacher at a local school.
Oh, okay. Colleen Maraca is here as the executive producer of the Cripescast, chiming in from the sidelines. Bill Doucette, sound engineer. We have a sound engineer today, so shout out to both of them. Thanks for being here, Bill.
It's good to be here. Thanks for the beer and pizza.
You're welcome, pal. Yeah, we take care of you, our sound engineers here. Speaking of Bills, I got a brother named Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hi.
Cool. Bill, what do you do for a living?
I'm a lawyer in town.
Thank you for the specificity.
You're welcome.
And John, my other brother.
Howdy. I'm your babyest brother, John Berens.
I kind of wanted to see what your introduction was going to be for me on those notes.
I don't have it. These are not intro notes. I'm just making all these intros up.
Oh.
Bill, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm grateful to be part of this family conversation.
Really? I don't think you are.
That's great.
Yeah, are you? Well, you came over, you borrowed a tool.
I did. I borrowed a bike tool because I have to repaint my daughter's bike, and so it's now my son's bike because of gender norms.
So, what color is the bike currently?
Currently very pink.
Uh-huh.
And Oscar selected McDonald's colors for his new bike. It's going to be a nice red and orange stripe pattern.
Did he literally say McDonald's colors?
No, I let him pick from the Lego bucket what colors he was going to want. And then we went over to Ace and we matched those up. And it was pretty much McDonald's red and McDonald's orange.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of paint do you use to paint a bike? Just spray paint, right?
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes.
Straight spray paint. Andy and I spray painted my car one time.
That's right.
Yeah. Camo.
Yep, I remember.
Remember that? That was the Volkswagen Rabbit, early days of the Manitowoc Minute.
I do. It was a crowd effort.
Yeah. We had the whole crowd come over, spray paint that vehicle. That was good.
Now where is it?
It's in a junkyard somewhere. Uncle Joel dropped it off one day. Haven't seen it since. Someone sent me a picture of it, actually, from the junkyard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't seen it since, you did a really good job with the camouflage.
That's John Berens coming in with the hot jokes. Johnny Hot Five joins us today. John Berens, what do you do for a living?
I work for Charlie Berens of the Manitowoc Minute.
And?
My NDA can't specify further.
Got it.
No, I also do production for my own comedy shows around the Milwaukee area and I am setting up shows all around Wisconsin, ranging from Lamira to Stevens Point to Mequon to several other of these cities of Wisconsin's provinces.
How much of that work do you do on the clock for me?
I
Keep in
love you.
mind-
I'm not going to answer that.
So, guys, that's John's desk right there. And so I know, and he either works right there or Andy, right where you're sitting.
Yeah.
And I know when he's sitting over there, he's doing work for me. I know when he's sitting over here, he's doing work for himself.
There's kind of
So
a,
you can't see his
So
screen.
I can't see his screen.
there's kind of a groove worn in here.
Yeah,
I
I
can
know.
tell he works here.
Yep.
Yeah.
John, is that true? You can be honest.
Well, legally speaking, I like to shirk off the work because it's fun.
Charlie, Dad might have a CD-ROM computer software that you can install called Disk Tracy.
This is crazy. Oh my God, I remember that. Wait, for the audience who is unaware of what Disk Tracy is, please inform.
Disk Tracy surveilled what you were doing on your computer. It's like Dick Tracy, the comic. Do you get the joke?
I get it. It's a nice pun.
This was Disk Tracy.
God, so it was surveilling what we were doing. I always saw that, but I was never doing anything nefarious on the computer growing up. Not because I didn't want to, because I didn't know how to do.
You had trouble with Netscape Navigator.
I did. The only thing I remembered how to do was playing that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Remember?
I do.
On
Well,
Dad's
that's
old
the only
work
reason I
laptop.
know is because I thought Disk Tracy was a game.
Oh,
And then I just learned that it just blocked websites.
oh, really?
That was the game.
Oh,
That was a really fun game.
You had to find websites it didn't know were blockable at that point.
Yeah.
That's probably how whitehouse.com became a thing. It was probably the early circumvention of right. Wasn't that a pornographic website back in the day?
Tell me more.
Anybody?
So, yes,
Okay,
that was
John.
a White House.
Bill
There was a
says
difference between whitehouse.com and .gov. Whitehouse.com was bought early on, along with multiple other popular search terms, and they used that to traffic pornography. There was a similar instance in my class where we looked up Martin Luther King. Turns out it came from a white supremacist website. You can't trust anything on the internet.
Oh no.
Here's the thing about John Berens is John Berens has gone down. John, when did you start going down Wikipedia rabbit holes?
Okay,
What
I'm
year
glad you
was
added the
this?
Wikipedia part.
What,
I found Billy looking at an article about the Joker back in 2003, and that led me to realize I could look up anything on Wikipedia. So I took the dive and I started looking up stuff about Spider-Man.
John's just Chat GPT 1. It's just, it's all Wikipedia and TVtropes.com.
Ton said that. Jeez.
Ton said that same joke.
Tom just said, you spent a lot of time reading TV tropes as a kid, didn't you?
Tom was accurate.
Tom doesn't lie. He's an honest man.
Tom Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, former Cripescast guest. You can find that on the Cripescast, anywhere you get your podcast. This is a plug for the people, Bill.
Okay.
I thought it'd be fun for John to do a show, where the whole concept is John has to go into an Uber. The audience picks the location and the topic, and John can't stop. There can be no silence. So either it's got to be a dialogue with the driver or John can't stop talking about this thing the entire car
I mean,
ride.
that sounds like every car ride I've ever taken with John.
I know, but why not monetize it?
That's a
you
good
know?
point.
Yeah, okay. All right. So let's go through this stuff.
Really quickly.
What?
Bill, where are you in the Berens lineup? Because you didn't finish off the introductions.
I'm number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Okay. And then, John, where are you?
I'm number 8.
Okay. Cool. That's all I wanted.
All
Because
right,
people always ask
Yeah,
where.
so Andy is number 1. I am number 2. Bildo is number 3. And Johnny B.
Number 8.
Yeah, number 8. Fourth boy. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any dirty laundry you want to air out? Any stories? You know what?
I heard we were coming here to apologize to one another.
I'm glad you brought that up
That's all that brings me here.
I wasn't sure if we wanted to ease into that or get right to it. I thought I did a lot of thinking about this podcast, having my brothers on, a very rare event, all the brothers together to discuss stuff on a recorded podcast going out for all of the Cripescast listeners. And I thought it would be a good time to air out any dirty laundry and make an apology. I think each brother can apologize to one brother for one thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And Andy, since you're the oldest,
I'd kind of like to hear Andy's apology for all of us.
yeah, we'll start with Andy. Let's hear it.
Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
one time in high school, my car that I was driving, it was actually Dad's car. He'll correct me on this.
Yeah.
Ran out of gas.
Yeah. Did.
And I was stuck on the side of the road, and I called you up
Yep. I remember.
to bring a gas can.
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
Yep.
And I filled the gas tank up, and I don't remember what caused this to happen, but I do remember I punched you in the crotch region.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that.
Well, you've left out a very important detail, which may clarify why you punched me in the crotch. You locked the keys in the car, and it was running out of gas. So there were two things that had to happen. One is put gas in the car while it was running, I think.
Which is safe.
I don't remember this, but it sounds exactly like me.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I was bringing you gas at all. No, I was bringing you gas. I think I was bringing you gas and keys.
Was that the 92
For some
Buick?
reason, because that was back in the day when
I think you're right.
you could lock the keys in the car. I knew there was something dumb.
I think you're right.
And then I wouldn't let you hear the end of it because it was such an idiotic thing to do.
I think you're right.
And it wasn't a full-on punch in the pecker. It was a sack tap.
It was.
But it was
yeah.
it was bullshit.
Well, I
because
said I was sorry.
It was BS. Mom's going to listen to this and she's going to be all upset about unnecessary swearing.
I don't want any next day calls.
I think
From
I was.
Mom.
I
From
think I
Mom.
was pretty restrained calling it crotch region.
Crotch region. It was a sack tap for sure, though. To be specific,
Sack
didn't-
taps hurt though.
I didn't say that.
Back
You
tabs
have-
hurt more sometimes.
you have full on. Either you full on kicked. Well, anyway,
I'm mystified as to where you're coming up with these details because I think they're right, but I know I brought this up like 2 weeks ago and you didn't remember any of it.
What were we doing 2 weeks ago? I don't remember you bringing this up 2 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know. Maybe did it come to you in a dream?
Charlie went on a darkness retreat to
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, did you go on a darkness retreat?
I don't think I could do a darkness retreat.
No,
Could any of you?
no.
I could.
You could?
Sure.
Are you just saying that?
No, I think I could.
Really?
Should we
Yeah.
try it right now?
Yeah. Should we? Should we put him in the basement?
Where's the nearest closet?
4 days in the basement.
Wow, it's like growing up all over again.
All right, that's one apology, which I
Charlie,
didn't
do
even.
you accept the apology?
No. All right, next.
All right. John,
Here we go.
back in the day, you were on a baseball team,
Mhm.
and that baseball team was a little league team. And Dad got the impression that you were a little bit afraid of the ball. I don't know where. I don't know where he got it. But we were told to take you up to the St. Mary's playground and make you not afraid of the ball.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do that.
Yeah.
And I apologize because I was pitching, which was a mistake. And this is a mistake that Dad made because I didn't have the stuff to do this
Was that Dad who said
responsibly. And one of them got away from me. I wasn't sending a message. It got away from me, and it might have hit you in the jaw region. It was only a tennis ball. So I'm sorry, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. It was not on
Wow.
purpose.
This sounds like if Donald Trump were to ever apologize, it would sound a lot like these apologies.
Yeah, these are awfully
Qualified?
contingent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I remember that. I don't think it was a tennis ball, and I remember the sound, which like his head was made of oak.
I
Billy,
Wait,
you
John,
know that very well. Because-
John, haven't you blamed me for that?
Well, no, this is separate. When we were at that house, when the fire took our previous house, what happened was that Billy and Charlie wanted to show me how to hit a ball. So you guys promised me bottle rockets if and only if I could take a few good swings at a big softball. First hit, it was either Charlie or it was Billy. Somebody was pitching, somebody was catching. You threw it right at me at 60 miles an hour. It hit me right in my face, right slightly above jawline, so it's a little harder there.
That might be the one I'm thinking of.
Yes. And then afterwards, you guys took my spa rockets anyway. So, like, what was I supposed to do about that?
Well, first of all,
Who here hasn't thrown a ball directly at John's head?
I didn't mean to.
I did.
Colleen, Colleen is the only person in the room who raised her hand.
This is explaining a lot about me.
Well, listen, John, to be fair, I've also thrown balls directly at Billy's head and directly at Andy's head. They've done way worse stuff, to me. So, it's just we just wanted you to have the same experience that we had growing up. So we may have launched a few balls at your head from time to time.
You remember when I threw a pen at your head?
And it stuck in there? Yeah. And then I walked downstairs to show Mom. And then Dad came home and lost his freaking mind.
As he should have.
Yeah. No, that was a off the podcast. We'll talk about that one.
It was an impressive throw. I mean,
bullseye.
People have to train.
Why didn't you apologize for that?
I did.
No, that
I said, I'm sorry. Don't tell Dad.
Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. You can hit me once really, really hard.
I knew what I had. I had some freaking currency at that point. I also think I had what you gave me, Andy, was a distraction from my spelling test that day.
I believe there was a spelling test in the mix. Yeah.
There was. I needed to change the narrative ASAP. And you gave me a gift. Some might say I was messing with you to receive that gift. I was doing a wag the dog.
Yeah.
If you start a war, people forget about the spelling test affair.
There was a lot of
that.
that
I probably
that went
misspelled on the test.
In retrospect. Didn't hurt that you could hear everything going on up in our room from the family.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, there was plenty of evidence to know that some shit was going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you two share a room growing up?
We all did.
Or all three of you?
3 of us did for a while,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
4 of us
all
did
4 of us
eventually.
at one point.
Yeah.
Bunk beds.
Who was like were there any funny stories of like sleep talking, sleepwalking, or did people fart in their sleep or anything goofy like that?
Yes.
Yeah? What-
Yeah.
Yeah, all around.
All of that.
All around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that scene in Jungle 2 Jungle
Yeah.
with the bachelors.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. Jungle to Jungle. What a deep cut.
We saw that one a lot because I think,
We saw it in the theater.
and then I think Aunt Mary brought it over a bunch when she would babysit
I
us.
think somewhat problematic now, Jungle to Jungle.
Yeah, but we can move past that.
Yeah. Early 90s. What do you expect?
Movie starring Tim Allen called Jungle 2 Jungle.
Problematic?
involving an adopted kid.
No. You don't say.
No, that sounds very like it
Yeah.
would have held up very well.
Actually, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. Well, I don't. I'm probably not going to.
We can revisit that later.
We can revisit it later. Okay, so Andy, those are your apologies.
No, because I didn't apologize to Bill yet.
Oh yeah, Bill. And Andy, Bill, here. Are you ready for your apology, Bill?
Yeah, I've never been more ready for anything.
Bill, when I was 4 and you were 2,
Oh yeah.
we were playing superheroes.
Okay. No, this is also my apology. I'm latching onto this. Also my
This
apology.
is great. I'm
Oh.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Well, what do you have to apologize for? This is my story.
No, we both had a hand in it.
Did we?
Go ahead.
Oh,
One of us had a leg in it.
Bill and I and Charlie was involved, but his involvement, I would say, is tangential here.
Okay.
I jumped on Bill's back as we were chasing basically between like a room and a hallway, just going around and around and around like Tom and Jerry playing superheroes. And I tackled Bill at one point, who was 2 years old. And the force of the tackling caused his femur to spiral fracture under me.
Yeah, it hurt.
And he didn't get up after I told him he should get up. And then Mom told him to get up, and then he really wouldn't get up. And Grandpa TG, I think, needed to take you to Children's after a little bit, and you spent something like 6 weeks in traction.
Yeah, that was fun. No, that's what they call a formative experience.
You You had a big green cast that was
Yep.
basically covering your whole body.
No, it was a body
afterwards.
cast, and it had a drop seat, so I could be
So you could drop
cleaned
this-
up after I crapped myself because I was 2.
So, anyways, I'm sorry about that.
No, I appreciate that.
I
No,
tackled you
no biggie.
and drove you to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then Grandpa TG came over and he brought us 3 candy cans. This is what I remember from this. One of the things I remember. And 2 of them were like boring candy cans. And those were for me and Charlie.
Because
And-
we abused you.
And one of them was a multicolored candy cane, but it was broken in half. And I wanted that one. He said, that one's for Bill because you broke his leg.
Well,
No, great.
Bill, is the apology accepted?
Yeah, I had apologies accepted.
Bill, as I remember, spent a lot of the rest of the summer watching Winnie the Pooh in his
Yeah.
hospital bed with
Yep.
his leg up in the air because they still put you in traction at that point.
It was Winnie the Pooh and it was hospital eggs are the 2 things I remember from my 6-week stay in the hospital.
Hospital. Tell me more about hospital eggs.
They were good. I
Yeah.
learned to like them.
So good
Quite
you
a
crapped
bit.
your cast.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, nice. Well, that's a really heartwarming story. That's nice. So Andy broke Bill's leg, and I watched. I guess I thought I did it too, but I'll take myself off the blame. For
Well, now you
that
got to
one.
find something different to apologize to Bill for, sincerely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was good. Well, that took a long time for Andy to apologize to everyone. So, I don't know if we're gonna have time for all these apologies.
I can make mine real quick.
All right, John, make yours real quick.
All right. We'll go in order of couch. Billy, I definitely stole a few of the comic books you hid under your bed during your teenage years. I had a very big appreciation for Alan Moore that year, which is really remarkable because I was 7 at the time. And I was reading V for Vendetta and thinking, this isn't like Calvin and Hobbes.
Do you still have V for Vendetta?
I
'Cause-
do.
Okay, I'd like that back.
Persepolis, too. That's a very quality selection for a teenager.
That was a gift.
A gift. I'm glad you're really enriching yourself with Iranian feminism. You do a good job with that.
Thank you.
What the hell is that?
No,
This-
that was actually for a class in high school.
We got nothing but class here.
All right. Well, that's a good one, John. You're stealing your brother's comic books. You've made amends in that. Good. I love it.
Technically graphic novels, but
Graphic novels. Sure. Sorry about that.
Andy, on a certain way back from a fishing trip, I apologize for losing my temper over the humble suggestion that I should fix my car and make the phone call while you were there to hear it because you wouldn't believe it would be done otherwise.
I think we need to
accept your
dig into this
apology.
one a little bit.
This was World War III. John and Andy.
First of all, many of these apologies are from years and years ago. Years and years ago.
this one apology is from,
This
I
apology
believe-
is from last year.
last
2 years
year.
ago.
2 years ago, a year and a year ago. Feels like it might be a little fresh for both
John
of you.
and Andy were driving back from up north. Andy asked John for a ride home. John, can I get a ride home? John is doing Andy a favor. Andy cannot help himself in the front seat. An hour in. John, why is your mirror broken? John, why is your back window broken? And Andy just keeps digging and digging and digging. And eventually, what happens?
This was from a place of concern.
A place
First
of
of all.
concern.
I think
First
we
of all-
provided all the context we need.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, like, I just didn't want it to get broken further, is the issue.
Mm.
And it was like, it was hanging on for dear life. The back of John's car, like the rear view window.
Somebody broke it on the trip. That was the issue.
No, I don't think that was the issue.
Dad tried lifting the gate hinge and it crumbled.
I think it was it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a hasty repair that then came undone at that point. So it was broken prior to the trip.
It was a Ford, you know?
Yeah.
You know what they say? Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah. So I suggested that John should
That's
get
a
it
Fiat.
fixed. Maybe
I don't speak Russian. I'm sorry.
one too many times, but I did suggest it that he should.
So who's apologizing to who
It was
here?
a tense car ride. Yeah. What do you? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm apologizing again. I'm
Well-
here to receive your apology for this.
Andy, I gave you my apology when I threw that screwdriver at you and missed.
Okay.
That
And
was-
now-
I'm sorry for missing.
All right, Andy. John is sorry for missing. Very good, John. Where's
Charlie?
my apology?
Can we do a separate true crime podcast about that car ride?
Yeah, we should, honestly. We really should.
Because
No, this
there's
is
a lot of material
The
there.
amount of phone calls that were received at the next day fishing, Dad was in a boat 20 foot away from me and my boat. He goes, "What the is wrong with your brothers?"
You could hear him clear across the lake.
Yeah, just airing out the grievances as
This is the
John
first time I got yelled at by Charlie and Dad in the same phone call.
Charlie, my apology to you. During a certain trip to Baltimore,
Yeah,
I agreed to do merchandising for you,
Yeah, you
and I
did.
thought getting to the airport a half hour ahead of time was enough time to check in my bags. It
yeah.
wa-
Yeah. Well, John, I didn't realize this was your first time ever getting on a flight in your life.
Second time.
My bad. My bad.
John, what about the time that you were supposed to pick him up at the airport where it was
Oh, yeah. I pay extra money to fly in to get in early so we can do a shoot. And I say, John, I'm at O'Hare. Okay.
You asked me this at 6 a.m.
Whatever. It was the day. It doesn't matter. You said, oh, yeah, I'll get you at O'Hare. And then I get to O'Hare and I'm waiting 20, 30 minutes. I'm on the phone with Max. And Max goes midway through the phone call, "Hey, have you talked to John?" And I go, "No, I got to call him. I don't know where he is. I'll call you back." And then Max hangs up the phone. What happened during that phone call? Well, you know what? Forget it. I'll just say what happened next. I called John and I go, "John, where are you?" He goes, "Charlie, don't be mad." I was like, "John, I'm not going to be mad. Did you go to the wrong airport?" He's like, "Yes, I did." I was like, "That's fine. There's enough time. Midway is a ways away from O'Hare, but you'll make it. Just put it in your GPS, get to O'Hare." He goes, "Okay, it's going to be about an hour and a half." I was like, "Where are you?" "Mitchell." "Milwaukee?" "Yeah." "What the?" And I lost every shit I ever
You
had.
got mad. I told you not to get mad.
Yeah, you did tell me not to get mad.
Seeing this all
You should've
unfold and
listened.
watching all the phone calls come in for that was the funniest thing I've ever. Like, I was like, "You should probably go get Charlie, right?" And you're like, "Yeah." I reminded you because I was like, "Wait, like, where are you picking Charlie up?" You left. Dante's like, "Oh, he's for sure at O'Hare." Like, we all were like, "Oh shit."
Why didn't anyone tell me?
No, we said you should be. We said you should be going, and then you said he's at Mitchell. Do you but apology accepted?
We playing rock, paper, scissors right now? What's going on?
This is a consolatory fist bump.
All right, John, I accept your apology. John, I apologize for blowing up on you after that and making you
Pay pay for the Uber, right?
pay for the Uber. Yeah, I told John that he had to pay for my Uber, and then he started freaking out. He was like, "The hell I do." He was getting so pissed. I was like, "Fine, you start driving to me, and then when you get to where I am, I'll have the Uber pull over, but you're paying for everything that the Uber tracks." I thought that was fair. All right, Billy, your apologies. Thank you, John. I appreciate the apology.
Well, I haven't done a lot of bad stuff. So I don't have too many apologies, but I got a
You're
couple.
a lawyer.
That's right. But I'm not your lawyer.
Hmm.
Notably, despite many requests. John, I'm sorry for going to college and leaving you at home between 8 sisters. That seems like it probably would have been rough. I had a fun time. Don't know if you did. But hey, sorry about that.
There's a lot of things you don't know by missing brotherly influence until the age of 18. I didn't know I was circumcised until I was 19.
Feels like you could have figured that one out.
I could have,
All
but I would have
right.
been happy to ask.
I was wondering how long it would take you to talk about circumcision, John, and 25 minutes. That was
a new
Way too
record.
long.
Yeah, we circumnavigated.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Darley, I'm sorry about another car ride home from up north, in fact, where you were trying to play a lot of really bad country music. And
I remember this phase that Charlie went through.
I did.
What? I don't remember.
You really, that's good. You really, really, really got into the far end of the radio dial for a while there.
Oh,
Yeah.
like bluegrass type stuff?
No.
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 Like what?
It was like,
this
you
is
know,
like Toby Keith level.
Oh, okay.
you were
Really
trying
bad.
to really aggressive.
country.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but like he'd lecture us
Yeah,
on
you were-
how we needed to get with what the most people were into.
You were really aggressively trying to be a man of the people.
You sent death threats
Which
to
is-
the Dixie Chicks.
I think I was trying to understand it, and then
Yeah.
it started off with me trying to understand it, and then I got a little addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's like country music's like cocaine. It's a bad idea.
Tell me more.
Country music is like cocaine. It's a bad idea. You should never do it. But if you do it, it's going to be really hard to stop doing it.
I want to be
Right,
clear.
Bill?
I'm on board.
And there's fentanyl in both of them.
I'm on board with country music, generally speaking. I even like modern country music, kind of.
Oh, now you're talking about...
No, I'm just kind of saying that for the radio people. But you were, yeah, it got pretty dicey. Anyways, it led to a kind of a screaming fight. Nothing like the Andy John thing. I think we made up by the end of it. I apologized in that car ride.
Did
but
we get into a screaming fight?
yeah,
I don't even remember.
me neither. But, you know, I had to come up with something.
I do remember there being some shit you were giving me for that at some point. But
Yeah. That was what I came up with. Andy, I think we've been cool. I don't think I owe you any apologies. I only had an hour to think of something.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
20 minutes.
Can you think of anything?
You need to apologize to me
Yeah, I'd
for
love
it?
to hear it.
I've got multiple nail marks on my body from
yeah.
you scratching.
Oh, no, that's right. The
Yeah.
risk match.
Oh, yeah.
2000.
Oh, boy.
2001? This was close to. Yeah, it was 2000. It was 2001.
In front of the Lauer girls.
Yeah.
You scratched.
Just Bill.
It wasn't
Bill
like-
got mad.
You know, but I definitely went for it.
Bill just turned into a tornado of teeth and nails.
You beat
No,
up.
okay, there were no teeth involved.
You beat up Andy in front of the Lauer girls.
I wouldn't say it was beating up. It was not
Not your best moment.
my best moment.
Not a good fighter.
Here's the thing. I went for the Australia strategy, where you take Australia, you build up all your troops in New Zealand, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
Weak strategies.
It's never worked out.
Africa
But
is
I
better.
thought, hey, one last time, I'll try for it.
I think we made the Lauer girls play Risk. We're on like turn 67 of this game.
That's what we really ought to be apologizing
Bill's
for.
committed to the Australia strategy.
It didn't work. It didn't work in real history. It's not working out on Risk. And I built it up. Andy managed to take Asia, which, you know, in retrospect was kind of impressive.
I think the incident that caused the fight was dice were dropped on the board and scrambled up the little men. And we were trying to decide which one went where.
And you try to allocate my troops to Western Australia. They clearly belonged in New Zealand.
Cheating was
Nobody
alleged
puts
by
that
one
many
party.
troops in Western Australia. And things got unpleasantly and violent, not in a dignified way. And that's how I'll phrase it. And for that, I'm sorry.
It was not befitting of the game
You cheated.
played by gentlemen in front of a map of the world.
Haven't seen this much beef with Australia and New Zealand since Gallipoli.
I almost got that reference down.
Gallipoli was the first movie that mom and dad watched on their first date.
Was
I
it?
did not know that part of their history.
Yeah, that's what
didn't
they
know
told
that.
me. I saw it in class during a World War class, and I brought it back the next day, and my mom was like, "Oh, I saw this on the first date with your dad," and I'm like, "How did you guys get this far?"
That's a heck of a first date, Dad. We're
Wow.
going to go to a war movie.
So
Very
like,
dad move.
anyways, there's still scratches on my back
Nah, you're
from
fine.
you and on my forehead.
No.
Yeah,
Billy Long Nails.
Bill. Yeah,
Well, apology accepted.
Bill was like Hellcat Maggie from Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
that was how he fought with people. Bill memorably said outright, my strategy is not to win the fight. It's to make it not worth it for you to fight me.
It's an effective strategy when you have two older brothers.
It's very valid.
Yeah, it is.
John knows
It
where I'm
is.
coming from.
Yeah.
Not my friends, it's a minority.
Yeah.
Throw the elbows.
No one wants to go try and kill the rabid raccoon.
No,
It's not worth it.
no.
All right, Bill, apology to John.
I already apologized.
I wasn't listening. Where's my apology?
That car ride.
Oh, yeah.
You spaced out for a bit of that conversation.
No, the risk thing. I forgot where we were after that. The car ride. Yeah, that's right. The country music. And then John. Yeah, that's right. I forgot what the apology was already. I don't think it was really that good.
it was pretty good.
Yeah, I brought up circumcision. I made it uncomfortable for
Yeah.
everyone involved.
Remember, John brought up circumcision.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fine. The nice thing about this is we can just cut out when I totally spaced out there. And we
That's
can
what our
move
parents
forward.
did. They cut that out too.
Anyway.
Jolly good soda.
What's that?
It's a jolly good soda.
Jolly Good Soda is one of our sponsors here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's get to some stuff here. All right. John, what was it like?
No, you didn't apologize.
What?
You did not apologize.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
He gave,
yeah.
he gave an apology to me.
I thought it was nice that you got apologized 2-3 times.
That's all I wanted. By
Yeah,
this.
that's great.
That's
This
all
is-
do you like how that works?
I like
No.
that we're recording your therapy.
I got some apologies. Okay, let's see here. Andy, do you remember the time that we were driving to school and we were going from one parking lot to another parking lot and there was a 3-foot dip between the parking lots?
Yeah.
And that,
I reenacted Blues Brothers.
yeah, and you literally drove over that.
Yeah.
I told you that you were the dumbest person I've ever met in my life, and a bunch of other things that I still to this day can't repeat on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
And despite all those things being true, I do apologize.
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
Best part about that story was Jay Riley, who was outside of the car. We were picking him up from his work, and he was just standing there looking at us. You could see his eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger.
He realized
until Andy just cleared the cliff,
Well,
and
and like,
then just like,
Jay is just shaking his head for an entire block. The car still worked miraculously after that. A
I mean,
3-foot jump. You jumped the car 3 foot.
what we thought was miraculous at that time, probably some damage.
Yeah.
oh,
I mean,
the car's never lasted that long.
No.
yeah.
Jay also was there for our other car crash where we totaled the Maxima. Andy totaled the Maxima.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was
he's the
there.
one who assessed the front end damage, and it was another
just,
one of those.
just by whistling and kicking at it.
Jay got out of the car. He was like,
for,
kicks it.
for a 15-year-old high schooler, he really carried it like a 73-year-old mechanic.
Yep. Jay was channeling his father, Pete Riley, basically exactly what he would have said had you screwed the pooch like that. Andy and cars and directions, none of those ever went well, as we've already solidified on this podcast. So, yeah. Okay, let's see here. Bill, I do have some apologies for you. I apologize for giving you the name Bildo. Just because it rhymed with another word that it's not appropriate. And
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry that I taught your son how to say it too.
I really appreciate you apologizing for that in front of a national audience.
Yeah,
And
regional.
regional.
Mostly regional.
I bet
somewhat
there's one
national.
guy in Alaska.
Oh, okay. You gonna apologize to me for that too?
No,
we
I
have at
think,
least 3 people in Alaska.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Bi-coastal.
Bi-coastal. Yeah, and also sorry for breaking your leg.
Don't remember how you were involved in that. Feels like you're riding Andy's coattails.
And sorry for making
Stolen
you
valor.
and also sorry for making you stand guard in the club with Jerry while the club presidents, Tom and me and Andy, held court.
That's more like it.
The
How about all
leadership strategy of the club was pretty bad.
We had a
about-
club at our Nana's house. Basically, all the kids would go in the basement. We started a club, and Billy and Jerry had to guard the trophies,
It was
which were my uncle's participation soccer trophies.
It was Uncle Denny's soccer trophies. It was 5 boy cousins. We had 3 presidents and 2 guards.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's how it goes.
I
It was
remember.
pretty secure.
I remember Bill being on the losing end of a lot of votes between me and Charlie and Bill.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody in favor of not letting Bill sit in the front seat ever say
No, we didn't.
aye.
We did it worse. We said, "Who votes that Andy's in the front seat? Who votes that Charlie's in the front seat? Who votes that Bill's in the front seat?
I think it would have been backseat though. Wasn't
Back
it?
seat. It would have been something like back seat.
Backseat.
But
Yeah,
Bill,
I
Bill's been
remember
on
that.
the losing end of more 2-to-1 votes than most people
Yeah.
in history.
Sorry, Bill.
Still believe in democracy despite all that.
Who votes Andy should get me a beer? Who votes John should get me a beer? Who votes Billy should get me a beer?
This is great.
Yeah.
John voted twice.
This is a minority vote.
Irregularities.
All right. So apologies on that. And John, I'm sorry for when you were a kid teaching you how to headbutt. I think it gave you brain damage.
It sure did.
All right, so that's the apologies. Thank you all. So we're going to do a few rapid fire questions here, get rocking and rolling. Who of the brothers in this room is most like Dick? Yeah, let's do a countdown. Most like Dad. 3, 2, 1. I'm
That's
saying
Andy, to me.
Okay.
Jeez. 2-2.
We got
2-2.
a good old fashioned dick off.
The dick is
Good old-
splitting.
Who's most like Molly? 3, 2, 1.
Abstain.
You're most like Mom because you both get in such big political fights. There's nothing more annoying than calling Mom and being like, "How are you? How's it going?" She got, "I'm fine." You just got done talking to Andy, didn't you? It's like
That hasn't happened since 2021.
2021 was the last time.
I think 2020. I think I was pretty good for the last
Oh
election.
man, who would be the Berens brother who would survive an apocalypse the longest? 3, 2, 1.
Me.
It's Bill for sure. Andy, you?
I'm voting myself, yeah.
Give me a. Oh well, I mean, Andy does have the garden. Andy's
Yeah.
got a garden. Andy's kind of like a prepper. He's got. Yeah, actually, have you seen his basement?
Yeah.
Andy's got plants. Are you growing marijuana in your basement?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You're growing a lot of things in your basement. You got a lot of grow lights.
I usually do, but this year not so much.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. And you do have that big garden in the back. That's really good.
I do.
Still would be me though.
I do feel like Billy has more of the vibe. Billy looks like the key guy at the hardware store.
Yeah, I was the key guy at the hardware store for a while.
You were?
Oh yeah, it was a great job.
Yeah, you worked at Ace and Madison, right?
That's right. Support your local hardware store.
All right. Which Berens brother would win if we did a fight to the death? 3, 2, 1.
It's definitely
Actually,
John.
Why?
Okay.
I mean, he's stronger than all of us.
That's a good point.
It's just he is. Sorry, John.
No.
It's true.
I actually augment mine. I think John would probably do it too. I think John it works out with Avery at the boxing gym that we go to, and Avery says that John can unleash some demons.
I bet you got
Yeah.
those.
I repress them the best I can.
Yeah.
See, the problem is John always had the most raw strength, but now that he's actually working out, we're outclassed.
I'm
He's honing
tapping
it.
into my power.
How long have you been working out?
About since this January.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
John, when you were growing up, you were a big fan of SpongeBob. This I was also going to apologize for this. I used to make fun of you for being able to recite all of SpongeBob. And then later on in life, I started watching SpongeBob, and I think that I was wrong for that.
Yes.
SpongeBob's a great show.
It's one very, very good.
Okay, which Berens brother would win in a fishing competition? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Andy's the
It's Andy.
Andy's kind of the meat hunter, kind of like Dick Berens. Go out there. Why is Dad not satisfied fishing unless he's catching fish? That's my question.
He thinks it's a waste of time unless he's killing something.
Yeah, he does. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I remember when we were kids, he would say, sometimes you just go fishing to hear the boat rock.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever really believe that.
I'm questioning it now.
He was trying out his book of phrases.
Yeah. No, because this is how it is fishing with Dad. He'll drive up to a fishing spot, make you drop anchor. He'll drop a few lines in the water, not catch anything for 38 seconds and say, all right, reel them in. Let's go.
It's
you know,
the least patient. Here's the thing. He's the least patient fisherman I've met, but he's going to keep trying every single spot on the lake.
Yeah.
So you will go out for 4.5 hours.
You get a good tour of the lake.
By hour 3, Dad's like, all right, we're going to go home. But first,
yeah, let's try this one spot.
let's try this spot.
Yeah.
You can hear his breath just really roll down, you know?
Okay. Which Berens brother is the best liar? 3, 2, 1. Oh, you say you?
No.
You all say me, John. John. What's scary to me is John says, "Why? What have I ever lied about?"
I'm honest enough. where I
Darley
can
used
tell a
to,
lie.
What have you lied about?
Yeah. What have I ever done wrong?
What would you do if you got a C on a report card or a paper that was graded?
A C?
Yeah.
I'd let that one ride.
How about a D?
A D, I would take a smiley face sticker and put it over the D and put it in the middle of the other papers Mom had to sign and hope she signed it. I would then pull that sticker off and present it to my teacher.
There's like
See?
a lot of layers of deception there.
Really?
Like a lot of layers.
Is there? I mean,
Yeah.
one thing is that one layer of deception is I don't think if Mom really cared, why didn't she read the whole test? Why was she just looking at the headline?
Yeah, if Mom really cared, why wouldn't she peel the stickers off?
Well, what I'm saying is I put a sticker there on the D. But if she read she would have seen a lot of red ink there.
Yeah, she probably
You as
thought-
like a 10-year-old deciding what Mom will and will not care about is, I think, another issue here.
Well, you know, it's I was just thinking. I was into psychology at that point in my life.
Yeah.
I was not good at spelling or math or really anything, but what I was good at was figuring out what people were paying attention to.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a mark
a
of
skill.
clinical sociopathic.
Bill works with a lot of people like that.
That's right.
Who's the worst liar in the family? I would say Billy.
We're not going to do 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, 3. Oh, who's the worst liar? 3, 2, 1. John is the worst liar. You know what? Why do you think John's the worst liar, Billy?
No poker face.
That's actually not true. You may know old John, like the way old John used to lie, but somewhere along the way, new John has learned how to lie.
That's great.
In a like
Wow.
John will lie to my face at work.
That's an interesting transformation. Who's his employer and mentor?
See, my rule of thumb is that it takes 6 truths to sell a lie. Enough to build the trust, 4 to build the trust, and 2 to maintain it, and then 1 lie not to shake the boats.
That's great, John. That's
That-
6
you know
out
what?
of 7 times. That'll work for you.
Well, listen, I don't. So, we have the dishonest Berens brothers on this side, and we have the honest brothers on this side. Is that
Yeah.
pretty much it? You guys are just you know.
As I remember, if I got like a 52 on a test, hypothetically, I would like on the walk home just be in this like tortured self-examination phase, like debating like when I was gonna turn myself in and what I was gonna say. And you would just like slap a sticker on it.
I need. First of all, I know that walk home really good.
I know
we
you
would
do.
walk home from school, and if one of us got an F or a D or whatever, which often happened, bringing that home to Mom and Dad, that was no good. First of all, if you could bring that test home to Mom and she would sign it, here's what you had to like let her sign it. and then say, I know, I'm sorry, I'm really working on it, have the plan, have her yell at you enough, and then fake like you feel bad enough so that she doesn't tell dad. And so I would roll that dice every single dinner time. I was like, is she going to tell dad or not? Is she going to tell dad or not?
And these are the two types of Catholics. Those who will pay for it in this life and those who will bargain for it in the next.
Probably something to that.
Andy, so you're walking home with a 52% on your
Or
biology
like
test.
and then this is completely hypothetical.
You got 19%
Like a
on your
19% on your science notebook.
I was just
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Did you forget what a cell was?
No, I just didn't do a
you
lot.
didn't do it.
He skimped on hypothesizing.
How did she come up? How did Miss Grahowski come up with 19%?
As a teacher, I'm especially interested in how that calculation
So you're
was
walking
arrived
home.
at.
So you're walking home with a 19% on your notebook. How are you going to break that news to mom or dad?
And that
First
was
of
the
all,
question.
do you go right to mom, or would you ever go right to dad?
No, I just had you take that straight to mom and let her break the news to dad.
For me,
For
it
a
wasn't
while.
about like not telling dad. It was like, well, mom's going to ask me and I'm not going to be able to not say anything if mom asks me.
But after a while, mom would tell dad, and then like dad would make a show out of getting you to tell him.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
What was that? What was that?
Like, so what happened today?
Yeah.
How was school?
How's school?
Anything happen?
Yeah.
How are your classes doing? How are your grades today?
That's how you got called a bullshit artist when we were growing up.
So, because you were just sitting there hoping that mom somehow miraculously
Right.
didn't tell dad.
Made the charges go away.
Dropped all charges.
Mom,
Andy swept the floor.
I know what I'll do. Mom's gonna make this all go away.
This will be great.
See, what I would do though.
Honesty is the best policy.
I tried the honest route a couple of times.
Yeah,
I did.
only a couple of times.
No, I did. I tried the honest route. I went home. I said I failed, and then I got the wrath of Dick. I did. So from that moment afterwards, I was looking for alternatives to that. So I would get home. I would present the bad grade immediately if I needed a signature. I would get that out of the way, say, I'm sorry, I'm working on it. And then I would start doing the chores. I'd start vacuuming. I'd start doing, Mom, do you need anything else? Can I watch anyone? So, Mom, I've been thinking about it. Actually, I did my homework. It's looking real good now. You want to check it over, and
Did
it'd
you-
be all wrong,
Put that amount of effort into this. Did you ever consider studying?
No.
Because I feel like if you put your mind to it.
I had already assumed that at that point, I was just not I just didn't have it.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
probably right.
Yeah, I just had too much ADD,
Okay.
That's our
Yeah.
justification, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to use that one. That's what everyone, that's what I think I probably had some of that.
You've never seen like disappointment in mom and dad's eyes as when you were doing the state projects and you drew Washington and you erroneously claimed Washington was named after George Washington, who discovered it.
First of all, the hidden punchline in that whole statement, John, is erroneously,
What was I supposed to say?
John, you're-
erroneously.
Well,
John Berens, who's learned half of his words by reading them.
Who's only ever read most of the words in the English language, but who's read all of them
Yeah, yep.
yes.
and only heard about 3% of them, apparently.
John mispronounces. You got to do a bit on that, John.
I know half
Mistake.
of you as much as I like to, and I know twice of you as much as I'd like to. Or whatever Bilbo Baggins says. I don't know.
I caught that reference.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. I want you to feel heard.
Oh, Bill.
Give it up for Bilbo Baggins.
Which Berens brother is the best secret keeper? 3, 2, 1. The lawyer.
Yeah, but yeah. They'll take confidentiality more seriously than most people.
Yeah.
I just forget most of what you tell me.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
You
it.
just have bigger fish to fry.
I squirreled away in some vault, and then
That's
I
an
don't open it
interesting
ever
choice of
again.
verbs.
This is good.
Which Berens brother is the worst secret keeper? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the one with millions of people in his audience.
We've had to cut a few secrets out of this podcast already, ladies and gentlemen. Which Berens brother would be the best at bar trivia? 3, 2, 1. Wow. You're like, I'm the only one who didn't vote for myself.
John wins with 2.
John wins with
Yeah.
two.
Because you couldn't be a team player.
First of all, okay, I'll give it to you for sports, but
First of all, here, I want to address something. On a weekly basis, John, did you know this? On a weekly basis, Bill and Andy get together and they go to bar. They go to the bar. They go do trivia night at the bar. Do you ever
J&B's
get it?
Blue Ribbon.
No, I never get
J&B's
invi-
Blue Ribbon
you
Pub.
guys both have a standing invite. You've known this for a long time.
I
You
have
just-
not.
That's chicken
When
wings
was this?
in the city. I do
Uh,
endorsements too now.
Apparently, they're over at BJ's and we don't get a call.
I've been trying to get you guys to hang out with me for.
Don,
Yeah, you guys don't hang out with John? Okay.
Don has a surprisingly busy schedule for somebody who.
Somebody what?
But-
Works for a very a great company?
Yes, Charlie, because I'm entirely defined by you. Great. Let's go.
Oh.
Can we change
the-
beers in
flying.
and
Hold on.
Johnny Boy's throwing some stones.
Can we
Okay,
change the
John.
lighting for this next part?
Yeah.
But we'll drape some red velvet over the
Yeah.
lights.
John, would you like to
Here,
dive into this?
We're in the succession portion of the show.
Yeah. John, what is this?
Yeah.
Therapy? What's going on?
You said it was therapy.
No, I didn't say it was therapy. Billy said that after I asked to bring something that you were sorry for.
Well, of course, you wouldn't know what therapy is.
Who's that?
You.
Oh my God.
Charles
Wow,
You
Yeah.
can just cut the
for
last,
Berens.
20, 30 seconds?
Oh,
This is good.
Johnny
This-
Berens.
John's just jacking
This is
threes
Berens
right now.
Select Cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green's HR.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we got
But-
HR.
About time.
So, anyways, all right, John, you want to unpack that? What do you feel like?
I think we're
in-
good. I think we're
Do you
quality.
think you're living in your brother's shadow right now? Is that what you think?
Yeah. Well,
No, it's not. Staying in the goddamn podcast. John, what do you think? You think
it's
you're
not
living in-
trauma unless I can use it.
All the people are going to hear this.
John, what's the beef?
I'm saving it for my tell-all, Charlie. It's all good.
You're doing a tell-all?
Yeah. You have the
What
say.
is this about, John? What
Look,
is this
you've got
about?
the say all. I got the tell all. Let's keep this going, eh?
John.
Let's keep her moving.
While we're
Kept or moved, a tell-all by John Berens.
All right, pizza break. Hey, folks, excuse the interruption, but I tell you what, it's officially fall. And one of the best parts about the Midwest is seeing them leaves change and enjoying that crisp fall air. Jeez Louise, it looks like the crayons crapped on the landscape. It's a weird thing to say. But anyway, one of the other best things about the Midwest is enjoying.
It all while sipping on a jolly good soda.
Wow, thank you, Colleen, for finishing the sentence that I was. Was I not going with the right emphasis there?
It's good. Plain or spiked, you pick your poison. It's at all local grocers near you in Wisconsin, or go to jollygoodsoda.com.
You know what that ad read felt like? It felt like the teacher kindly correcting the student who was about to screw up a word.
I just want you to succeed.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I appreciate that. Well, you want to tell us about Fleet Farm, Colleen? Or
So fall is in full swing, and it's time to start prepping your yard as the cold comes in. Fleet Farm has everything to keep your yard nice and healthy all fall and into winter.
That's right, folks. Pick up all the things you need for your lawn in the fall. Like you can get grass seed if you want. You can even get those cool, those native grown plants and all that sort of stuff. And you can get everything they need to turn your yard into whatever you want it. You want grass there? Great. Put a garden there. Fleet Farm's got you covered. Any yard job, they got the power equipment, the yard storage too. Fall yard cleanup has never been easier with the help of Fleet Farm.
We love it.
And folks, best way to support the Cripescast. Colleen, what is it? I forget.
So if you go to cripescast.com, we have all of the things linked up. So we have Patreon, we have merch, we have tour. But for right now, until September 24th, if you go to mantalkminute.com, we have a bundle sale. So if you buy any of our Mantalk Minute sweatshirts, hoodies or crew necks, you get the matching koozie free. So go now, and it's there until September 24th. So you can keep your outside warm with a sweatshirt and your inside warm by having your nice cold drink.
I like
you
it.
know?
I like it.
But yeah, go to cripescast.com/merch. Otherwise, you can go to patreon.com/Charlie Berens for behind the scenes content.
And folks, with that, we are back in the Cripescast with my brothers. All right, before we went to pizza break, John, it seemed like you were annoyed with me or just expressing some frustration with me. I just want to
We're going right
pick
back into
this
it.
scab a little bit more.
That's good.
What's the beef, John? Give me the top 3 issues with Charlie.
Oh man. Well, speaking as your employee,
Mm-hmm.
there is no winning this salvation. So,
Yeah.
what's
What's the beef, John? Go ahead. What's the beef?
There is no beef. I would say it would get rather annoying when someone is saying, "Hey, I'm doing a show," and then I click on the message. Could your brother headline it?
Oh, I see. I see.
Yes.
So this is John Berens. I will say, John, in all honesty, you've really made your own name for yourself in the promotional deal. I haven't promoted any one of your shows, and they've all sold out.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, so that's really good. I'm really impressed. You know what's amazing is John's attention to detail when he's doing his own thing. When he's doing my thing, I just remind him the whole time, John, attention to detail, attention to detail. I'm kind of like, are you listening at all? And then he does his own thing. He runs a miraculous show. He buys bar stools, extra bar stools, and he makes sure that the whole thing is done in terms of the list of the people playing. He pays them well. He does great.
Can I pivot to ask how you selected your bar stool?
I used Facebook Marketplace.
Was there more than one option?
Not really.
You
No.
weren't able to get any stool samples?
Ooh. Wow. 3 comedians in the family.
That's how you turn an HR nightmare into good radio.
Thank you, Will.
Let's do a quick Molly or Dick thing. Talk about mom and dad for a second. So pull these signs up.
Can I have,
This is a lightning round.
I think I get
See if
one
it
of
triggers
those.
anything. Who is the most likely to get mad at you for cussing? Yeah, dad. Mom gets mad about the cussing, and yet she married dad. Who
Dad gets mad if mom hears it.
Dad pretends to get mad if mom gets mad about it. But I remember being on the bus did I say this with any of the sisters? I was on the bus, first grade, Eric Helene. Okay, he and I were driving there. I remember him and I were exchanging swear words like they were trading cards. Like he was telling me a combo that he learned at the dinner table, and I was telling him a combo I learned. I remember at that point in my life, I thought was a worse word than, and because I
How did you find out the difference? I'm curious.
of what?
Did you just try both of them out for size in front of mom, and then
No, we were just telling him what we thought were bad words and good words to use, and then we knew they were bad words, but I at that point he said and I was like, oh, that's really bad, but I had just taught him like 2 weeks earlier, So
I like your cultural exchange.
When I was a kid, it was just like in second grade for me. Mom and dad every Christmas would take us to that one house that set up the huge Christmas lights and like a display and everything.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Are you talking about the one with the glass case?
Yes, yeah.
Candy King Lane or something.
No, it wasn't
this was
Candy.
different.
It's like a weird Elm Grove Candy Cane Lane spinoff
Okay.
where it was. Honestly, I don't even remember where it was.
I
But
don't
yeah,
either.
it was elaborate and kind of out of place for the community. I bet the neighbors had some complaints.
It was very elaborate. Well, anyways, we were in our 2005 Chevrolet Express van, and I was in the back with Addie and Bridget by me, and I think everyone was like a little bit tired. So I was entertaining myself by drawing like little icons on the fog on the windshield.
What do you mean by icons?
Certain icons. At a certain point, I thought I'd test my spelling, so I wrote F-U-C-K, and that was it. And I just was like, oh, so that's how it's spelled. And then Addie turns her head and is like, John! And I'm like, what?
Did she bust ya?
Christmas Eve.
Oh, she busted me. She took me home and she's like, where did you learn that word?
Addie did?
Yes.
So she didn't tell mom and dad?
She was worried you learned it from her.
Yes.
She was covering her tracks.
How old were you at that point?
I was probably in like first or second grade at that point. I was just impressed that I wrote a word like that.
That's
you know?
pretty advanced for first or second grade.
Yeah. I had advanced curriculum. I was homeschooled in that regard.
All right, next question. Who would be the Oh, wait, no, that was the wrong list.
The Berens of bad news.
Okay, most likely to give you unwarranted advice, mom or dad?
Oh, wait.
Unwarranted? Well, unwanted or unwarranted?
Well,
Let's say unwanted. Who would be the most likely to give
It's
you...
always wanted.
Huh?
It's always wanted.
Is it always wanted?
Why is it wanted or warranted?
I don't know. Warranted means uncalled for, right? But it's kind of the same thing.
yeah, I mean, unwarranted means it's not justified.
Oh, okay. Well,
We're kind of getting bogged down in the details.
we are getting bogged down in the details. I think I'll
Who's
change
the
dad.
biggest advice giver? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dad always gives advice. Now, it depends on the issue, though. Kind of depends on the issue, Who's most likely to give you parenting advice for the parents? Mom? John, you have kids?
They aren't worth acknowledging yet.
Okay, got it. So, mom, so you two are dads, by the way. I think we should address this in the podcast. Andy is father of Fair, daughter. How old is Fair?
2.5.
2.5. Got it. And then Bill, name your kids. How old are they all?
Patty is 5, Oscar is 4, and Olin is 1.
Okay.
So,
got it.
yeah.
And what kind of advice does mom give you guys as parents?
Good advice.
What does she say?
It's just, I don't know. Like there's a ton of stuff you've all of a sudden realized that you need advice about.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is solicited. Dad's great with medical stuff.
Yeah, Dad's good to call when you get stitches.
I'm sure he's great with the other stuff too, but like we only really call him when we need them. Call Dad specifically when you need the medical stuff.
You call Dad when there's blood on the floor.
And Dad's usually like, yeah, that'll happen. Like he's great at setting you at ease. And then
He lets you know if they need stitches or you can get by without.
yeah, exactly.
How many times have your kids have had stitches?
Oh boy. Only the one Olin took a header, and then so that was three stitches. And then I think that was about it.
Oh, really? Olin's the only one.
Yeah.
Olin, my godson.
Your godson.
Olin on the river. Okay, Andy, any stitches for Fair?
Not yet, but I mean, there was a situation where like she hit the side of her head, and it was kind of borderline as to whether like she was going to need medical attention or not. And Dad looked at it and was like, since it stopped bleeding, probably not. Like if you took her in, this is what they would do. Like, and they would just tie her hair together, basically,
Yeah.
And like, that's that. And he was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, so then what kind of advice does mom give?
This is how you get your crying kid to sleep.
Oh, really?
Here's a similar like scenario that I've been through with one of my 12 kids.
Yeah, believe it or not, Mom's got a lot of
Yeah.
points
Yeah.
of.
No, like I would be completely lost without mom or dad here.
Really?
Yeah.
So
for sure.
you can't get Fair to sleep. She's not going down. You call mom. You're like, how do you get him to sleep if you tried everything?
It's that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes there's nothing you can do, but
Yeah,
mom and dad are worth talking to about that stuff for sure.
definitely. So I remember this one time, Andy sent out a text message to the family text stream, and he said, hey, can anyone babysit Fair on Friday night? And no one responded. And after an hour, I finally felt enough guilt. I was like, yeah, I can do it. And Andy waits 20 minutes and he goes, I'll get back to you on that. And then about 2 hours later, 2 or 3 hours, or the next day, the next morning, he goes, okay, fine. So this is the time. In which time I imagine him texting everybody else he can imagine to get a babysitter to come babysit Fair. Nobody responds, so he goes with me. And so then I go over there to babysit Fair. I'm there for a half an hour, maybe. And then all of a sudden the door rings and the doorbell rings. It's Mom. So Andy hired a babysitter for his babysitter. Any thought on that, Andy?
No, this is an even better story. I didn't even do that. Mom came all by herself. Mom
got wind of the situation.
You're
and
right.
Said, you know what?
You're right. That I saw
some quality time.
I wanted to see if somebody would do it, but it wasn't because I didn't trust you. It was because, like, I thought, oh, yeah, Charlie's probably got something to do. Probably other people don't. Let's see if one of them volunteers.
Oh, that's what was going through your head.
That was what was going through my head. What was going through Mom's head was this child cannot be trusted with Charlie.
This child cannot be trusted with Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I was talking to Addie because she just had a kid, and I said, I'll babysit her or him, and she's like, Charlie, you have never changed a diaper. I was like, are you kidding me? I changed your diapers. You know what I mean?
Great non-alienating thing to say to somebody. I'm sure it set her right at ease.
Well, but Andy, did we not babysit?
We did.
Okay, because Mom listened to another podcast where I said we babysat. She said I never changed a diaper in my life. Mom said that. Can you believe that?
Okay, if I recall correctly, there was one season when our house had burnt down in an aforementioned fire.
Mostly burnt down.
Mostly burnt down.
Some damage.
Yes. But
Still-
the fourth
still
house
there.
we built, and that stayed. Anyways, Mom and Dad went somewhere in 2005, and you, Andy, and you, Charlie, and possibly you, Billy, were placed in charge of us.
Don, you make this sound like a boxcar children's situation.
Thank you. Yes. They gave us money for pizza. Andy, you pocketed the money and you made us 15 bean soup.
Were you there when I did that?
I did. I was. And then our sisters.
You were paid money for the pizza?
I gave the money back. I didn't pocket the money.
He wanted to make.
I wanted to make a nice meal, a nice home cooked meal. It's very if that happened today, I would be lauded. But it didn't. It happened back then.
Yes, you are very magnanimous.
Yes.
Okay.
Meg, what?
Point being.
Like full of magma?
Okay. Well, the older girls launched a
Open revolt.
some would say revolt, others would say a mutiny against you guys, and you responded by key-hauling them in the basement. There was a breakdown of order that one week.
It was like, what was it? Like Stanford, the Stanford
prison experiment.
Yeah,
Don
Stanford
preferred to
prison
keel
experiment,
hauling. The naval practice.
Yeah. We did what we had to do. Those were the times we were all given our roles. We were just acting out our roles. Okay.
I was game pressed into service.
To do what?
I don't know. Act as your left hand?
I don't remember this.
Charlie, the girls brought up the time that you guys did Survivor.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Here we
remember
go.
that from your perspective?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
it was a
Want
lot
to
of
talk
fun.
about it and clear the air?
it was fun.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, what happened from your
Explain the
perspective?
story from your perspective.
Well, the hit show Survivor was sweeping the nation.
Susan
And
and,
we were
Richard
all watching the last episode.
were duking it out.
Andy
Susan and
loves Joe
Richard
Rogan.
and,
Fair warning.
Rudy.
Oh, yeah,
the Navy
Rudy.
guy. Remember that?
The Marine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thought that a fun thing to do would be to let everybody participate in Survivor and outwit, outlast, and outplay everybody else in the family. And some of the people who weren't able to do that for as long have some complaints about being tossed into the basement.
Yeah.
But the rest of us had a good time.
We had a great time. I think it was Maggie we voted off. Yeah. How did that
Almost immediately, yeah.
work? Yeah.
No, it went.
I get that.
It was pretty quickly in order of annoyance, Maggie, and then probably Betsy after that, Addie, Mary Kate, because Mary Kate always went with Addie,
Yep.
and John.
So
And
you
then
launched
incredibly.
a pogrom.
I don't know if we're going to call it that.
Okay.
After a while, it was. It sounded like it was more fun to be in the basement.
Yeah,
that's
at a
when the
certain
game
point,
ended.
the
Yeah.
party
And
moved.
that's the notion of counterculture right there.
Yep.
I just thought about this. John, you want to know the most embarrassing thing that you've ever done to me?
Never. No.
I'd like to hear this.
8th grade.
Mm.
I'm hanging out. I'm trying to make some moves with the gal up the street, Liz Fraumbach, she lived a few blocks up. And she, at one point, actually walked down the street, hit the doorbell to see if I wanted to hang out.
Big deal.
Big deal. I only become aware of this after I watched John answer the door, ass naked. Ass naked. And there's Liz and there's John with his pecker hanging out. I'm like, that does not run in the family, okay?
Yeah, mine was way too prodigious for you.
This was what, last week?
Prodigious.
We gotta keep a tally of these.
John was, I think, for whatever reason, John was in his naked phase.
Okay.
Do you remember John's naked phase where he'd run around naked all the time?
Everybody has a naked face.
Your daughter has a naked face
She's
right
she's going through a naked phase right now.
Well, I was embarrassed by that. So anyway, John, I'm sorry I was embarrassed by you.
Is that your
It's
original
all right.
trauma?
No, I got plenty more. That's probably one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rough, man.
What's your original trauma?
I think we talked about how I spent 6 weeks in tracking when I was 2. I think I've rebounded pretty well. Thank you very much.
Pretty well. All right, let's crank through these guys. All right, who's more likely to brag about their kids to their friends, mom or dad? I don't even know.
You're
Yeah.
probably the most important vote
Why?
because you're probably the most bragged about.
Oh, well, I don't think so. One son's an attorney.
Yeah, I think that's me.
Yeah.
My show is a source of pride or embarrassment to all of Elm Grove.
John has embarrassed mom and dad at some of his shows for some of his jokes.
But you keep doing it. That's
You
nice.
I like that. John's got brass balls. That's
Thank you.
nice.
Shameless, I guess.
Who's more likely to forget you at the supermarket, mom or dad? Dad? I'd
No.
say they're both guilty.
Yeah.
How many people how many people here have been forgotten somewhere?
Yeah. My own first communion.
Oh, you got forgotten at your own first
I left
communion?
at church. Everyone else went down, and Sister Betty had to walk me down the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you were probably getting some pictures taken or something.
I didn't know that. All I knew is I just met Jesus for the first time, and now my family's not here.
I've got forgotten Uncle
Welcome to
Tom and
Catholicism.
I thought they were going to make me be a priest. This is how they do it?
So, what was Sister Betty saying to you as you were forgotten walking back home?
Oh, there. We'll say hi. It'll be fine.
We'll bring you back up to the priesthood. John, where'd you go up behind?
Uncle Tom and Aunt Debbie's.
Oh yeah,
I just remember being there, watching Chris and Nick playing Halo,
yeah.
and then they see me and they're like, "John, your family left 20 minutes ago." Oh,
What
Yeah,
were you
so-
doing?
I was watching them play Halo.
Huh, that's fair.
That's one of my favorite hobbies as a kid, watching you guys play Halo because you didn't let me.
It's a great spectator sport, and you weren't very good at it at the time.
You used me as target practice,
Yes.
both in and out of the game.
That's
I'm not
true.
sad about that.
Oh, Andy, I forgot to apologize. There was this one time where you were laying like spread eagle
Oh, I
on
know.
the
God.
bed.
Yeah.
And I just got an airsoft gun and I stuck the bead in through the door, through the crack in the door. I drew that bead right on your nipple and I let it release.
I was gonna
hit you
I was
right
gonna
in the
tell
nipple.
this story if you didn't.
Yeah, I do.
You're right.
Yeah. What was it like from your perspective?
Just completely mystifying. I wasn't lying down.
You were lying down.
I was not. I was standing up. I didn't know you were out there.
Yeah.
So I just heard like a little click
Uh-huh.
and my nipple just exploded in pain. And I was like, what's going on? And then it was a full 10 seconds before I heard you laughing. And then I opened it up and I saw you out there with a airsoft gun. And I knew what happened.
Uh-huh.
But there was a lot of time a lot of time in my memory
Did
past.
you just think, is this part of puberty?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
They don't tell you this in
There was a
Foley
lot of
Alive.
like wonder at what was going on.
Oh my God, yeah. And then you kicked me in the pecker.
Probably.
That's when you really unloaded on my pecker. Like it went inside me. You kicked me so
Hold
hard.
on, can we isolate that audio?
Yeah, I know when you unloaded on my
You
I
did.
really felt it inside me.
My thing went inside me. That's how hard he kicked me.
Yeah.
It went hiding that bad.
I mean,
It was
I don't
throbbing and
doubt that I
pulsating.
could have. I don't remember that. I
Guys,
was in a blind rage.
what's the weirdest thing you've ever confessed to a priest? Come on, what's the weirdest confession you've ever had?
This is getting cut out, right?
What, you can't say what?
This is
You can't tell someone what you confessed to a priest?
technically
it's a
the
seal of the
seal means
confessional.
that the priest can't
I'm
tell.
not going to tell you what I confessed to the priest
Why not, dude?
because we're on radio.
Oh, all right, fine. Be lame about it.
Wait,
I will.
All right.
I most certainly will.
Who's more likely to get pissed about a bad grade on the report card? I think we already said.
Oh, yeah.
Dad. Who?
What's the weirdest thing you didn't confess to a priest?
Oh,
I'm
man.
not answering that one.
That one I'm not answering. I told the priest a bunch of lies.
I
you
said
know?
I said we're not going to have conversations that are going to get us a call from mom the next.
I confess to the priest. Wait, if I keep coming back and confessing to the same sin every week, does it really matter? And that brought up an interesting philosophical conversation, of which there's been several heresies about this. Are you guys interested in going this topic with
Don,
me? or-
I
John,
would
we're gonna
love
call you an
to
Uber. I think.
Unsubscribe.
Yes.
Who's more likely? Who's more lenient, likely to fall for a BS excuse growing up?
This is an easy one.
Dad would sniff right through it, though.
Yeah, that.
I think mom knew. But she kind of was like letting us lead her to the real issue, you know?
Yeah.
Mom, I'm just going to go biking with Tom. We're going to be gone for like 5 hours, but it's okay. We're just getting a lot of exercise. She gets in her car and follows us biking.
Did she?
No, there was some. That's a whole other podcast.
Are we
right
going to
there.
get in all the things you were caught doing?
What was I ever caught doing?
Oh,
We don't have enough time for this.
What?
I thought we got into trouble with this with the last
Yeah.
podcast with the sisters.
Oh, I got caught making out in the car.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
any
know.
phone calls.
Yeah. So what did I get caught doing? Aside for
Nothing.
that? No, go ahead. Yeah, we'll cut it out if it's bad enough. What did I get caught doing?
I don't know.
What did I get caught doing? How old were you? How old were you guys when you first started drinking?
22.
You were 22. John, you didn't start drinking? No, John.
Actually,
18.
20.
You were 18.
Also 18.
18.
20.
That was the first time you guys ever had an alcoholic beverage.
Oh yeah, when it was legal in
No.
when I was in Ireland.
First time I ever had an alcoholic beverage, I was visiting you and TW at St. Thomas.
Oh.
And I had some Ron Diaz.
Oh.
And TW brings it over to me and he's like, this tastes like death. He hands it to me. And he was right.
Wow.
Yep.
That was you guys didn't try a beer even before that?
You knew me in high school.
No.
Yeah.
Actually,
I was a rule follower.
I was 8.
Wow.
They made me drink the blood of the guy who died
Oh,
for me.
there it is.
John,
Yeah.
mom is going to be so mad with that one.
She can do what she wants.
Oh, how is it that's the case with you guys? My first beer when I was 8 years old with Tom Malloy, Red Dog.
I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense though. When
Remember,
you think about
do you
it.
remember that though, Tom?
I remember Uncle
I
John.
remember
finding
the
out
Red
about
Dog.
Uncle John found out about
it. The
it.
buyer of the Red Dog.
Yeah, bought the Red Dog. Tom and I snuck that into the backwoods. We had a taste of it, and then Uncle John got upset. And anyways,
He's gonna be mad that we said that he bought Red Dog on this.
Red Dog's a very underrated beer.
Oh
I'll say
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Let's get some Red Dog right now and figure that out.
You can
They
get
could be a
it.
sponsor.
No, they're not. Lining Kugels.
Lining
ladies and
Kugels.
gentlemen.
A crisp, refreshing beer.
But you can get Red Dog, also Miller Coors brand. You can get it at Walgreens. They got a coupon for it. Okay, let's do a quick sibling test. We'll do a couple of these. You guys all have a marker.
Usually
somewhere?
you got to do a DNA swab, and
You got a
then
marker there, John?
I have one.
Maury's notable for his sibling tests.
All right, sibling test. First, when is John's birthday?
Same as Bill Clinton's.
Explains a lot.
3, 2, 1.
I got the year.
My
I got-
day off.
What is it? Andy's a day off.
I'm on day off.
Oh.
Yeah, that way. All
Well
right,
done,
who
Andy.
is Andy's favorite author?
I don't remember asking or answering this question.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
All right. Andy is an English teacher.
So wait, I'm answering this question too.
Yeah, you're
Wait,
in.
oh.
I don't know. I'm not happy with this answer, but
Neither
I'll go
am
with
I.
it. Take your time, Andy. You should probably know this more than we
Yeah,
do.
Andy's written so much. I know I don't even. That's right. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Billy says Joyce. Andy says Raymond Chandler.
No,
That's the right answer. John also says James Joyce. I said Michael Chabon.
I think 2
You
to
know,
1.
you
John
guys
and I
are-
win.
Those are two good guesses, though.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, that sounds good. All right. Who is Billy's favorite band or musician?
Oh, that's tricky.
All
I've got a very interesting taste.
right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, damn it. I wrote Merle Haggard here. Billy says Johnny Cash. I wrote Merle Haggard, but this is what I wrote before was Johnny Cash.
Oh, see?
So I should have gone
Yeah,
with
you
that.
were almost right. That's nice.
Andy Towns Van Zandt
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get it. Johnny Wilco didn't quite get it.
We're-
Okay.
We were all close.
Dane. It's you, Charlie.
All right. What is Charlie's favorite hobby?
Can I write this down legally?
Just write it down, John. Write it down. Write it down. All right.
See, this is tricky. 'Cause
3,
We've picked up a few
2,
lately.
1. Fly fishing. Billy says. Andy says mountain biking. John says guitar. I put biking on there. So Andy got it. I do like fly fishing. I do like guitar, obviously. Who's the Berens that will show up latest to the family events?
And this is an easy one.
Yep.
Oh, me? I'm late. Billy and
What?
Billy says Andy. Andy says John. Charlie says Andy. Billy says Charlie.
I'm just-
My name is
John
John.
says Charlie.
How does John not get more votes than just me?
I'm just going to aggregate over time. It's you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I do have 10 years on him.
That's
Well,
right.
All right. Who is Charlie's childhood crush?
Oh boy. Like, are we allowed?
Grade school. Just first name, last initial.
Oh, boy.
Foolproof.
Yeah.
This
All right.
seems like cuttable material.
Yeah.
Ready?
I guess that would be it.
John's got a great one.
All right, put it up.
Nice.
Maid Marian?
Yeah,
The
from
vixen.
Robin Hood.
Oh, wow.
Like real people?
You got
Yeah.
really into furries that one year.
Who is that?
This one's younger sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We're not going to put this one up. We're going to cut that.
Bad idea.
We're going to straight up cut that one.
Let's hear it.
Fan questions. Let's rock these through and then we're done with it, fellas. All right. What are the fan questions? Oh, best prank on a sister. That's from Millie Kramer.
All right, Millie. Think the best prank on his sister was when Betsy tried to prank us, and that prank backfired on her and she broke her arm.
How did that work?
Well, she was gonna booby trap our trophy case,
Yeah.
and because she was upset that we sent her up to bed because we were babysitting, and there's some resentment there. And then she was gonna rig, I think, a pillow to fall on us when the door opened. And instead of that happening,
Settling scores.
she fell down and broke her arm.
That's why she had that dumb blue cast.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I forgot that was there. I forgot that was the reason she broke her arm. That's great.
I get Mary Kate with I took Phil's slingshot.
Oh, that was a good one.
what she got for his birthday, and I loaded a grape into it, and I hit Mary Kate at like 50 yards.
Yeah.
That's less of a prank than just overt violence, but I did enjoy
You
it.
were just bragging about breaking a sister's arm.
I didn't do that to her. She did that to herself.
That's
I remember
true.
this.
That was
guys
like
were
a
And you teach at girls' school now, Andy.
you
ironic
were
prank.
you were very proud of the fact that you chose a grape because, quote, it explodes on impact. That's awesome.
Well, it did.
What was the dumbest thing we'd fight over?
Risk.
Risk. Yeah.
Whether Fish or Red Hot Chili Peppers were a better band.
Oh yeah. Andy really liked Fish. I really liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Turns out both not great bands.
Multiple fist fights.
Yeah. There were. I don't know why I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers so much.
Because of the cover of Mother's Milk, which Mom threw out the car window.
Oh yeah, Mom was also not happy with Californication, that CD. I was like, "What, Mom? It's just a California vacation."
Good cover.
That one was dumbest thing you'd fight over. That was Jack's Sphinx. Okay, Emily and Berens, our sister, actually asked, if you were stuck on a deserted island, what role would each of you assume?
Prostitute.
I would start the fire.
Billy is a fire starter. That's true. And okay, yeah, that's true. Bill, you would be the fire starter.
I'd also be the captain.
Be the captain?
Yeah,
You would be making decisions?
I think so. Yeah.
I would be arguing with Billy over who makes the decisions.
Yeah, but then these two would listen to me.
Andy?
I'd start a bunch of fights for no reason.
I would have the shell.
No, you win.
Dante Williams wants to know whose feet smell the worst.
Yours.
Mine do. There was this one time. Famously, we had a sleepover at Tom and Jerry's, our cousins, and we were outside playing or something, or we were upstairs. I don't know. But my Aunt Debbie called my mom, and she said that she had to call the exterminator because a rat had died in the basement. And my mom, without missing a beat, said, "Debbie, are Charlie's shoes down there?" And she said, "I don't know. Go look." Debbie walks down with the cordless Aunt Debbie walks down with the cordless phone. She walks over to my shoes. She smells them and she goes, "Oh my God, that's what it was." And those were my black Nikes, and I never saw them again. And that's why I bought black Nikes to this day.
You went
Walked
home
home with
barefoot.
Bags on your feet.
I know. Well, they threw out the shoes. It was terrible. All right. Oh, last question. This is from Maggie. Do your friends talk about your sisters? Would you set them up? Would you guys ever set a friend up with one of our sisters?
No.
I wouldn't do that to a friend.
Yeah.
I think that violates the Sixth Amendment. Billy, which one's the cool and unusual punishment one?
That's number 8.
Okay.
That's for all the cool punishments.
How's there not a movie called Cool and Unusual Punishment?
Oh, man.
I think that's a website.
Are you guys fans of the Fifth Amendment? Because you're giving me no quarter here.
That's number 3.
Thank you. Wait, no. I plead the third. Wait, no. I plead the fifth. Okay. Well, that's why they call him the Bill of Rights.
There it is. You landed it. You stuck the landing.
Johnny boy, bringing the episode to a close. Guys, anything, any stories that you think should have been brought up here that weren't brought up? Any things you think we could have talked about that we didn't?
There's time for the next podcast.
Yeah.
I still want to get deep into the Andy and John fight of 2022 or 2021.
Yeah. There'll have to be time enough for fighting when the counting's done.
I wanted to
Fish
kill him.
was worse than the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You said that.
though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers never played a vacuum.
That's true.
Red Hot Chili Peppers don't have
I
a
mean-
Ben and Jerry's flavor.
That's true. Let's get into our second podcast. Fish versus Red Hot Chili Peppers.
For
on
our
the
second
Scotch.
podcast, we should play Sheep's Head while we're doing it.
Real quick, Colleen, I don't know how we're gonna edit this, but real quick before we go, favorite Grandpa Bob story, if you have one. You got one? Anyone?
Oh man, I think one of my favorites was like on our fishing trip when he expressed his disdain for sheepshead that were in the waters in like 3 separate ways. First was crunching it in his hands. Second one was a solid thwack against the boat. Third, there were a couple of pelicans that were just lying up by him. He just threw it right at the pelicans, and there was a feeding frenzy going on.
Toss it right down the bird's gullet.
Grandpa Bob did have a tendency to catch a sheep's head and then feed it right to the pelicans, to the point where you could tell Grandpa Bob's boat in Lake Winnebago, because it just had a line.
You could tell the difference between the pelicans who knew about Grandpa and the pelicans who didn't.
They're a lot fatter.
Yeah.
5 to 10 pounds easy.
I still associate Grandpa with pelicans.
The feeder of the pelicans. Well, folks, guys, Andy, Bildo, John, it was great to have you guys on the podcast. Thank you very much.
Good
for
to be
coming
here.
Yeah,
onto the
thanks for having
Cripescast.
us. I'm
Glad to
sorry-
be working here.
Yeah,
Sorry
clearly.
that Andy and John got into that fist fight and we had to turn the camera off.
Yeah.
I've never seen so much blood anywhere in 20 years.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Watch out for deer. Well, folks, that is it for this week's episode of the Cripescast. Huge thanks to my brothers for coming on. And I'll leave it at that.
I think a lot was accomplished. I think a couple more sessions with like a registered therapist would really do well for both of you guys, or for all of you guys.
Yeah, I would. But you know what? I know my brothers well enough to know that none of us are going to do that.
Yeah.
But I do know what you can do. You can follow John, my brother John, at jbeast33. He's got shows coming up all around the state. And also Bill, he's not on social media. He's the only smart one of us. Andy, at Andy J. Berens on... I don't know, something. And I hope you guys enjoyed the little therapy session we had. You can follow us at all platforms, of course, at Cripescast, at Charlie Berens, at Manitowoc Minute, this, that, and the other thing. Colleen Maraca, thank you very much for putting this sucker together. Thanks to Hannah Milos for editing. And thanks to all of you for listening.
Oh, and thanks, Bill, for audio mixing. Bill Doucette, thank you.
Bill Doucette for working on that audio.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Billy Deuce, 86, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all. Everyone keep her moving and watch out for deer.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down, just keep her moving. It's on Wisconsin, the Badgers say it's the old Wisconsin Jubilee.
You know, sometimes when you're ice fishing, you put your foot in the walleye hole and go ass over tea kettle and you think you're done. No, you gotta keep her moving.